It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer called Robert the Great, and it's a Russian Imperial Stout from Flanders in Belgium. It's 10.5% ABV. There's a look at the label. And it was kindly sent in a box with the lovely beers that were sent to me by Nemerton Brewing Company. So big shout out to Nemerton Brewing Company in the Netherlands for hooking us up with these beers. Cheers, guys. Without further ado, let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. We'll work out the brewery and everything else in a moment. 10.5% ABV Russian Imperial Stout from Flanders in Belgium. Really interesting. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if I've had an Imperial Stout from Belgium. Interesting. It looks very thin for a Russian Imperial Stout. It's certainly not been packed up with oats or lactose. It's probably a very traditional style of Imperial Stout from Belgium. I'm really interested in this beer because this will be probably close to what Russian Imperial Stouts were forever, without oats and lactose and chocolate and coffee and, you know, all these great things that we now add to an Imperial Stout. This would definitely be something along the lines of quite ancient, you know. The Belgians, it's a great country to experience traditional beers because they know what they like. They're very good at brewing their beer and they sell lots of it all around the world. So we've got a jet black beer in the glass, one finger, well, not even one finger, it's a little bit of lacing, if you like, around the edge of the glass. Very thin Imperial Stout, as we've mentioned. A little bit of carbonation. Let's get the aroma. So it's got an aroma of, there's coffee, chocolate and caramel in there naturally from the roasted malt, but it's got like a German style, like a German Bock. Like a German Doppelbock or something like that about it. It's more big and malty and bready rather than loads of chocolate, coffee and caramel from the roasted malt. But it smells amazing. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, that is seriously good. Seriously good beer. Wow. Yes, it's got the malty, bready, biscuity flavours, but I take it back in terms of the roasted malt taking a bit of a back seat with this beer, because you taste the beer. Get this beer in your mouth and it's like having a pipe tobacco smoke. Loads and loads of pipe tobacco smoke. And really smoky, chocolatey, coffee, bitter flavours coming through. Oh, that is really good. Really good. Little zing of carbonation as well. Pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. Releases more of that flavour. It's a little bit oaky as well. There's a little bit of an oaky quality coming through. A little bit of coffee, a little bit of tannings maybe from the oakiness, from the wood. Definitely vanilla. There's vanilla coming through in abundance. This is really good beer. Really good beer. I mean, I wasn't doubting it. I was just kind of slightly, when I poured it out, it was like, ooh, this is thin. This is thin for an Imperial Stout. But then, looking at that carbonation there, chasing the head of the glass, it doesn't look really that thin at all. As I mentioned earlier on in the review, this is traditional, this is proper Russian Imperial Stout without any adjuncts whatsoever. And what I talk about, what I mean by adjuncts is, you know, your added coffee or your added lactose or oat. It's all slightly kind of adjuncty stuff. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It really is. You get a little bit of fig and plum and prune as well on the back end. A little bit of spiciness and pepperiness that comes through. What a beer. What a top quality beer. I mean, I've had this. I mean, it didn't need to be rushed because it's a Russian Imperial Stout. You could probably store that away for at least 5 to 10 years and it'd be absolutely fine. 10.5% ABV as well. Brewery. This is yet another fine handmade product of Belgian. We have to get the brewery. It's just called Robert the Great Russian Imperial Stout. It must be. Ah, it's the Struise. It's Brewery Struise. Wow. Brilliant brewers. Struise Brouwers of Belgium. Brilliant, brilliant brewers. It's a vintage 2018. And it's been matured on wooden port barrels. Okay. You definitely get the woodiness. You definitely get the woodiness coming through. And so they're port barrels, oak port barrels. Wow. I feel really lucky. The only thing I don't feel really lucky about is because I don't know who Robert the Great is. Can you comment in the comments box? Can you comment who Robert the Great was? Was he a big figurehead in Belgian history? I know we got I got him mixed up earlier in my head with the king in the car park. Richard, was it? King Richard, who died in battle with a broken back, and they found him in a car park. Not all the way back then, but recently. But it was a forest back then. Anyway, this is superb beer. If you can find it from Struise Brewery, Robert the Great, Russian Imperial Stout. Wow, wow, wow. What a beer. What a beer. Rating. Beer looks great in the glass. Jet black beer. Good lacing. Good aroma. Oaky, woody, vanilla-y. This reminds me of my early days on the channel reviewing Russian Imperial Stouts, where you might get your hands on a rare bottle of Courage Russian Imperial Stout, which I had and stupidly gave away. I had a few bottles of it and gave one away. Stupid thing to do. But anyway, I'm going to rate this. I really, 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 really like this beer. I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!